Hi. Let me go ahead and push this up so I can get out of the way. So, hello and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday. My name is Michelle, aka the Ignited Teacher, here on social media. As you can see, got my little hair done today. So if you're new here, thank you for tuning in tonight for Teaching Tip Tuesday. And if you are one who tunes in, catches me on my the lives or on the replay, thank you for being a part of my community. On Teaching Tip Tuesday, what do I do here? I help math teachers of struggling learners to effectively manage their classrooms and to increase student achievement. That's what I do here on Teaching Tip Tuesday. And how do I do that? I do that through classroom management strategies, pedagogy, good math and instructional strategies, response to intervention, technology integration, and project-based learning, but not your traditional project-based learning. I do a lot of the modified version of the project-based learning using the Buck Institute's framework and using that to make it accessible for my students so that they can have the opportunity to participate in that project-based learning. So that's what I do. So if you cannot, and I know our schedules are busy, if you cannot catch me live, you can always catch me on the replay. I stream to YouTube and to Twitter, but Twitter doesn't stay up that long. That's a quick platform. And Facebook, after 1 week, I unpin it for the new one, Teaching Tip Tuesday. So that's pretty much, you can catch it on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I am inviting you to be a part of that YouTube community. As I go on in my school year, I add a lot of content, especially instructional strategies. Right now, I just started school about 2 weeks ago, and we talk about the different things that are going on in my classroom, maybe in my school district, strategies that work. Math intervention is my specialty, and those things that help those students that are struggling with math to grasp those concepts. So, without further ado, I am going to start Teaching Tip Tuesday's topic. Our topic is basically how to use Google Drive to house your assignments. Now, a lot of teachers, I teach ninth graders, and this can be done for elementary, because you can teach fourth and fifth graders to use Google Drive. So I'll say fourth grade to high school. Google Drive is an effective way to house assignments, especially assignments like if you're using a digital interactive notebook. So this past week, what I did is I taught my students three things, literally. And it took really the whole class period because my students were not that proficient with technology. So what I did is I taught them how to find shared content in Google Drive. I taught them how to make a copy of shared content that was shared with them and create folders. That's what I did with them. And it has really helped me because what I'm going to end up doing is having them share the folders with me so that I can keep up with their work. One of the things that I learned about virtual learning is my students, like, they go on mute, and I'm pretty sure you all are experiencing the same thing. But I had to explain to the students, like, I'm not there. I can't walk up to your desk and say, well, let me see your work, turn it in. So they really don't understand that whole communication piece. Like, I have to communicate with my teacher, and I had to explain that today. And some of the students caught on because I told them I can't see you. So I had to give a participation grade. So like that's like give me points in high school. So I told them by the end of the week, every time I look at my chat and you have not participated, everybody starts with 100, but after that 100, it goes down 5 points every time I ask a question and you don't respond. And these are like yes or no questions. I would say in the chat, have you done this? Because today we did Google Drive with the digital interactive notebook for math intervention expectations. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. Let me move this over here. So here we are. Let me look at something. So this is Google. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my school account. Then I'm going to my Drive. So in my Drive, I have these, and I created these folders. And when I house my stuff in Google Drive, I house it in folders. And a lot of people, and I don't know why Google does this. It's really crazy because here it tells you that you have folders. So see right here, it says folders. But I never paid attention to that until today when I was teaching the kids. I was like, oh, it's folders. And then here you have your files. So what I do here is, so there's my fourth period strategic math. And then I have my assignments, my digital interactive notebook, and daily agendas. What you're probably asking is, well, what are daily agendas? Those are the agendas. Let me go back to my Drive. Let me see if I have, oh, here's one. And I've showed these on my other, in probably one of my other live streams. So this one is for, you know, I like a little bit of sarcasm. So I put a little meme up there or a GIF sometimes to make the kids chuckle. This one made me laugh because I forgot it was there. Respect your parents. They pass school without Google. Yeah, that's a real thing. So this is something that I use as I get, more familiar with my students. I'm going to use this again. But we haven't started with the daily agendas, but I have the kids make the folders and these go in there. And you're probably saying, well, why would you make one every day? I make one every day because my students sometimes don't finish. And if you've ever taught high school or middle school, they wait till the last minute to get anything done. And it's not a whole, all of them, but it's a large majority of them to know that I need to do that. So that is a daily agenda. So I'm going to go out of here and go into my personal Drive. Now, when you are working in Google Drive, what I highly recommend that you not do is house all of your stuff inside of your school account. What I do is I take this, say for instance, this is my algebra intervention digital notebook. I take this, and you can see these. That's my intervention notebook. So I'm going to take that and I actually share it with my school account. I know that some teachers left, school districts, and they were like, well, how can I download my Google Drive? And I'm like, why is your stuff housed in the Google Drive? So if you start out in your personal Google Drive account, if you look here, I have a lot. It has 15 gigabytes, which, as you can see, I need to go in and delete some, because some of this stuff I don't need. It, like I said, I've have some things in here that I probably need to go in and delete. Um, but even buying storage, if you're going to buy storage, I think it's like $6.99. But Google Drive is really good. So on the left side, you have your drive, and a lot of people forget here. So like if you want to upload you cannot upload Word, but you can upload a PDF. So if you want to upload a file, you can do so by just going to New and upload a file. Upload. You can upload a folder. This is where your Google Docs, your Google Forms, your blank forms, and all of these. It is an effective storage. So Google Drive is really connected to everything. And it's effective with your students because a lot of your students, you can share, y'all can share a slide. You can do a lot of different things. So if you see here, this was an example. So in my Google Drive, I have my notebook and a student copy of my notebook. So I have the teacher's copy for me, and then I have a student copy that I send to them and have them make a copy. That's what I do with them. Do not send your only copy with your students. They will mess it up. So that's where I house those. Um, so I'm selling my digital notebook. These are some other folders. So let me go in here. Say, for instance, I want to create a folder. So you go here, new folder, and say I want to make this student work. And it'll show right up in there. You can also take it out and drop it back into the drive. Where is it? It should be somewhere down here. Or if you want to search it, and then they said I have some in the trash, but here it is. If you can't find it. See, it says student work has been moved from digital interactive notebooks to my drive. So it's a drag and drop function. So that's how you do that. But it's really, really simple. And I do recommend that you house your stuff in Google Drive because it's easy access. Something that, the students can do. Like I said, teach your students to, let me go back. They teach them how to upload, create Google Docs. You don't normally use the sheets, but Google Docs you use. Find shared content. And those are the three, and make those folders. So if you can teach your students those three things, that will make your life easier. It's kind of like having notebooks in the classroom or having a folder for each one, but you're teaching them how to organize themselves on a digital platform, and they don't have stuff everywhere, and you have somewhere to put stuff if they're turning it in. And even if it's just creating a folder with a creating a folder with a Google Doc with links in it. So just kind of help organizing yourself. That's one of the things that I found that has really been a struggle, is actually getting myself organized and getting myself organized to the point where I need to be organized online because we're working in a digital platform, and then organize myself. I normally have notebooks for each class, and then that's one of the things that I forgot to do, is create notebooks. So I went and did that, and it really helped. So I have the folders in Google Drive, and I also have the notebooks in Reality. So that's what, I'm dealing with. And I hope that it was helpful. So, just seeing how you can put folders and put your work in there in Google Drive. So that's all I have for you all for Teaching Tip Tuesday. Hopefully that Google Drive tip will help you. If you have any questions, comments, you can drop them in the comment section of YouTube and Facebook. You can tweet to me or private message me on Twitter. And I will see you all for next week for Teaching Tip Tuesday.